Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today, we are going to take a look at Kaiju number 8. Specifically, we are going to take a look at Mina and her designated target, Kaiju 14. Now, let's look at this first from the Defense Force. We're going to look at this first from the Defense Force's perspective. Then, we're going to look at this from the perspective of Mina's great weakness, i.e. her lack of mobility. From the beginning, that has been shown to be her weakness. In order to take down that fungal kaiju, she needed the entire rest of the 3rd Division to go out and basically herd it into position for her. She has an incredible amount of power, and as this battle has clearly showed, no one can touch her for ranged attacks against large targets. But against a small to mid-sized targets, the one that Vice Captain Hoshina is optimized to fight, those giant cannons of hers, pretty much useless. So Mina has a gaping weakness when it comes to smaller to mid-range targets. So, why was she assigned to a fairly small and importantly mobile target like Kaiju number 14? Well, first off, obviously, Kaiju number 14 is airborne. It can float. Kaiju number 14 is that floating obelisk with multiple faces facing in every direction. So far as we know, it was just floating around. It hasn't actually made any attacks. And it might even be some sort of communications node for the rest of the kaiju. That would explain the face motif. But it's smaller. It's not that large. It looked to be about the size of a truck. And it's mobile. So that makes it a difficult target for Mina, but she's the only one with ranged attack. So all it has to do is float up and it can get out of the range of most of the attacks. So as a ranged fighter, Mina's primed to get it, but she has a historic problem with small mobile targets. Moreover, there's another problem. Whenever you're learning about weapons safety, you're always taught to focus what is behind the target, because most bullets go through their target. If they have enough power to go into the target, they're probably going to have enough power to go through the target. Therefore, you have to be willing to shoot whatever is directly behind your target. You remember when Director General Iso Shinamaya gave his full-blown double cannon attack on Kaiju number 9. It took out an entire building behind him. Well, if Mina aims in the wrong direction at any target, the shot's going to go straight through the target and take out whatever's behind it. And Mina's level up so far have been getting bigger and stronger guns. So the bigger and stronger the gun, the more dangerous it is, the greater threat you have of destroying something behind her target. So Mina's greatest strength, her raw power, becomes a weakness with a small mobile target that's at a low elevation. So if Mina shoots down, she has to be willing to punch through the ground and drive a massive hole into the bed of the city. Even if there's no people in the way, that's disrupting a lot of infrastructure, something the Defense Force always keeps in mind. Then you have the problem that Mina's weapons are very complex. She uses targeting systems, and as we learned in a previous chapter, she can hit things up to 20 kilometers away, or nearly 15 miles away. So a lot of her power is dependent on the interconnected systems. Now, if this obelisk is designed to take her out, the first thing it's going to do is interfere with communications to prevent her targeting systems from talking to her big guns. That will eliminate most of her big guns because she can't risk just blasting at it. Now, she does have smaller hand cannons that are mobile, but that still requires the thing to be above her, so she's not shooting into her own troops, and it requires it to be motionless, and something that's just drifting around, and that can fade in and reappear and disappear, or that has multiple bodies is going to be a very difficult target for Mina to get if in the 5 shots that she gets with her mobile cannon. I'm hoping that when Mina has to face this thing, we get to see Baku in action, the tiger that acts as her personal tripod, or the 3rd point in her tripod, or 2 points in her tripod. But we'll see. So this thing, in order to counter Mina, it needs to be able to disconnect her from her technology, to block out the satellites that allow her long-distance targeting systems. It needs to be able to move low and close to the ground and to zip around buildings to stay in crowded environments, so she has to watch out for shooting through it. And it has to move, which is all stuff we've seen this obelisk can do. So I am seriously looking forward to Mina's fight with Kaiju number 14, the obelisk of many faces. But what do you think, my wonderful viewer? Am I missing out on any of Mina's weaknesses? Is there another card that Kaiju number 14 has pulled out of his bag? And has Mina done any power-ups and increases on her own other than learning how to shoot 15 miles away from a railgun with the power of a battleship? All right, what do you think, my wonderful viewers? Tell me in the comments below what you think. I'm really interested in when will we be seeing Mina? Will we see her before or after Reno shows up? Go check out the links below the video to pre-order yourself a copy of my book, Flying Sparks, and whereon if you pre-order now, you will get a copy of Dying Embers. And first-time announcement as a reward for anybody who's listened this long, I will be running a simultaneous Kickstart campaign for Flying Sparks as well as Indiegogo. This is the first year I've been doing this because this is the first year I felt confident enough to run 2 campaigns at once. It will all be for the same exact stuff. There will be more things available on the Indiegogo page because I just know how to handle that better, but the Kickstart page will be up and running so as of July 1st. But for now, you can go pre-order on Indiegogo. Peace out, my wonderful viewers. Deep within the forest, trees walk. On the mountains, boulders dance. In the skies, stars sing. And within, a human heart is breaking. Naturally, the park ranger was tremendously annoyed at all of this. Flying Sparks Volume 1, 100,000 words and another look into the McCarty family as aliens and first contact play across their lives. Available on Indiegogo for pre-order through June, and the crowdfund Indiegogo campaign will be up and running through July of 2023. Dragons! Aliens! Check out the link below the video to go get yourself a pre-order of Flying Sparks Volume 1. If you pre-order before July 1st, you will also get a free copy of Dying Embers, the original book published in 2024.